The Grand Junction Senior Theater is honored to present their 2020 virtual variety show. The Grand Junction Senior Theater is a 501c3 nonprofit organization which has been captivating audiences in the Grand Valley with their theatrical performances for over 25 years. If you enjoy this video, please click the thumbs up button below and subscribe to our channel. There's also a link in the description where you may donate to help support the Grand Junction Senior Theater. All donations are greatly appreciated. We would like to thank our generous sponsors who make this production possible. We encourage you to please support these patrons of the arts. The Grand Junction Commission on Arts and Culture, dedicated to developing the quantity, quality, and affordability of arts and culture. Alasta Solar Center, providing the Western Slope with innovative energy solutions since 1979. Paul Bird Insurance Agency. We shop for you. It's fast, it's free, and it's easy. Julie Jacobson Realty. When you want the best in the West, call Julie. Western Colorado Community Foundation, connecting people who care with causes that matter during COVID-19. Relyon Entertainment, providing quality live entertainment you can rely on for live music venues, private parties, and senior centers like yours.
Hello to all you seniors of the Grand Valley and supporters of Grand Junction Senior Theater. I'm David Kenworthy, this year's director of Grand Junction Senior Theater, and since our performance was not able to go on, we have changed it into a virtual variety show. And so, without further ado, I would like to present to you the members of the Grand Junction Senior Theater.
Thank you, David. Our first performer tonight, Helen Lyon, who is also the president of the Grand Junction Senior Theater, brings to you her original creation, the Forgetful Fairy Godmother.
Oh, for goodness sakes. I have finally been given a great Make-A-Wish job and I can't find my magic wand. It has been a while since I've needed it, and I'm racking my brain to where I would have put it. I know that I put it in a safe place where I would be sure to find it. You know, this has been happening to me a lot lately. I walk around looking for my brush, and then all of a sudden I find it there in my hand. Oh, I might be sitting in my favorite chair, and a thought runs through my mind to go and get something. So I go get the room where I know that it is, and suddenly I don't remember what I went in there for. So discouraged, I go back to my chair, and then voila, I remember what it was. Things seem to disappear a lot lately too, and in the strangest places. And yesterday I turned my dog into a tree. It's a good thing that my spells don't last long without my wand. But I do have to have my magic wand to look official. I mean, how would it convince Cinderella that I was her fairy godmother if I didn't have a wand? Besides, having a wand, I don't have to remember the spells. All I need to remember is bibbidi-bobbidi-boo, and that I can do. I have a lot to do. I mean, hair, makeup, carriage. I just don't know what I'm going to do without my wand. Oh, I must find my wand. I don't have a... If I don't, I won't be able to convince the prince to marry Cinderella, and she'll be stuck with that mean and horrible people that she lives with. And it'll be all my fault. Now I'm going to calm down. When was the last time I had my wand? Let's see. Was it last week? No, let me think. When I helped Pinocchio and the Blue Fairies? No, that's not it at all. Wait, I know. It was when I helped the fairies with the Sleeping Beauty. Yes, and then when I got home, I was really, really tired, and I laid it down. Yes, that's it. I know where it is. Here I come, Cinderella. We're going to a ball.
I'm sure Cinderella is very thankful. Now Helen will sing My Favorite Thing.
Watching old movies and raiding the kitchen. Browsing online, I can fuel my addiction. Staying in bed, having no alarms ring. Nothing to do is my favorite thing. No need to dress up in fancy dresses. Not doing makeup or curling eyelashes. Not shaving my legs, not curling my hair. Showers, who needs them? I don't have a care. Not getting dressed, staying in my pajamas. Happily laughing at old work-price dramas. We need a vaccine as soon as can be. But until then, this is perfect for me. Lazy long nights, days not working. Home is not so bad. I simply do all of my favorite things, and then I don't feel so sad. Not caring whether it's Monday or Friday, every day special, 'cause every day's my day. We hate Corona and all that it brings, but staying at home is my favorite thing. Lazy long nights, days not working. Home is not so bad. I simply do all of my favorite things, and then I don't feel so sad.
Speaking of favorite things, here's the magical Stuart Gardner being quite magical.
When I was a kid, I wanted to learn magic, and the first thing I picked up was a set of rings. I learned this trick. It's not much, but it is impossible. So what I'd like you to do, my lovely assistant, please take a look at these, grab those rings, you take a look at them, examine them inside and out. Do you see any holes in those rings?
I don't see any holes at all.
Well, there is one right there in the middle. Okay, this is actually a do as I do kind of trick. So you take your rings, you look for the soft spot. What you do is you bring them down. Your ears are all ready together, but once you find the rings and you look for the soft spot, you do this one. If you don't find one there, you bring it around and you take a look at it, and then you look at the other ring like that. And once you find that soft spot, you examine it real close and you bring it like this, and you do this. You sing them in, you find the soft spot and bring them apart. And then you look for that same soft spot, then you bring them back here and you pull them back together and you do that. You are very good! Get out of here, you're showing me up. Well, now I don't even know how I did that. Thank you, that is the rings. The next one, we have a little magic bag and a magic egg. Now this is a wooden egg. Why don't you zoom in right here on this a little bit. And this is actually a wooden egg. It's completely solid. It's made of wood. And what we're going to do, we have the magic bag, and you can see inside and out. If there's nothing in there, we're going to take the magic egg, we're going to put it in the bag. And what we're going to do is we're going to make that magic egg disappear, and it's going to be really secret how that happens. And as you can see, the magic egg in the magic bag is completely gone and is nowhere to be found. And we're going to make the magic egg reappear probably sometime tomorrow. Actually, here it is, right there.
Wow!
This trick is called Mcdonald's Aces. It takes 4 aces in a deck of cards. So we're going to take this deck of cards out, take a look at it. And since it's called McDonald's Aces, it requires the aces. So we're going to go through and we're going to find the aces first. There's 1, 2, 3, and must have gone past the other one, and 4. So it takes these 4 aces and 12 other cards for 16 cards total. That's all we have, no more, no less. We're going to count them out here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 cards, that's all we need. So we're going to take the rest of these, put them over there, and work with the rest of these. So with McDonald's Aces, you have them in this formation like this, so you never know. Sometimes you pick them up to where they're face up. Sometimes you pick them up so they're face down. Other times you pick them up so they're face up. Other times you pick them up so they're face down like that. And other times you pick them up so they're face up. Well, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn over the deck, and I'm going to cut to the ace of spades, and we're going to take these, turn out 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the funny thing about this trick is once you get to this point, you never know which side is up or which side is down. It becomes kind of a sandwich. Sometimes they come off face down, other times they come off face up, other times they come off face down, and other times they come off face up. 16 cards, 4 aces, and what we're going to do now, we're going to bring in my lovely assistant. Don't lose the cards. And I'm going to ask you to pick which one is your favorite ace.
Ace of Hearts.
The Ace of Hearts. We're going to start with this one as to what we're going to do with it. But this one that's closest to you is the Ace of Spades. That's the most important. So we're going to take that, and you're going to take your hand and make a spider like this right over the cards. Don't let anything in or out. Make it iron tight. And so we're going to take these, and what I'm going to do is take these 3 aces and swap them with the cards that is under your hand. We're going to take it, we're going to give it a shake, we're going to bring it over here, hover it over your hand a little bit. Did you feel the magic?
Oh, yeah.
Of course you did. And we're going to say that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards and no ace. We're going to take this next one. We're going to bring it out like this. We're going to give it a shake. Bring it over here like this. We're going to take this top card. We're going to flip it over. Take a look at this, and we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to take this one. I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to give it a little shake. Bring it over here and hover it over your hand. I'm going to take a look. I'm going to see 1, 2, 3, 4. And aces have transferred themselves over to here and swapped with your cards. Would you please take your hand away and turn them over? You can see the aces are there, and that is McDonald's Aces.
Now you see it, now it's gone. And speaking of going, here's Ruth Mary Allison singing My Get Up and Go Has Got Up and Went.
get up and go has got up and went. For in spite of it all, I'm able to grin and think of the places my get-up has been. Old age is golden, so I've heard said, but sometimes I wonder as I crawl into bed, with my ears in the drawer and my teeth in the cup, my eyes on the shelf until I wake up. As sleep dims my eyes, I say to myself, is there anything else I should put on the shelf? For nations are warring and business is vexed. I'll still stick around and see what happens next. How do I know my youth is all spent? My get up and go has got up and went. For in spite of it all, I'm able to grin and think of the places my get-up has been. When I was young, my slippers were red. I could kick my heels right over my head. Then I was older, my slippers were blue, but still I could dance the whole night through. Now I'm older, my slippers are black. I huff to the store and I puff my way back. But never you mind, I don't mind at all. I'd rather be puffin' than not huff at all. How do I know my youth is all spent? My get up and go has gone up and went. For in spite of it all, I'm able to grin and think of the places my get-up has been. Wake up each morning, dust off my wits. I open the paper and read the obits. And if I'm not there, well, I know I'm not dead. I eat a good breakfast and go back to bed. How do I know my youth is all spent? My get up and go has got up and went. For in spite of it all, I'm able to grin and think of the places. I remember the places. You know those places. All those places my get-up has been.
Well, that went well. Now Ruth Mary is going to share one of her favorite stories.
Once there was, and once there wasn't, and once there was not so long ago, a young man who really wanted to get married but could not find the right girl. He determined that if he could find a girl who would do just what he said, he would marry her. Well, he was at a party and had his teacup, and a young woman came around and was pouring tea, and he said to her, "I will have a half cup of tea, please." And she poured him exactly a half a cup of tea and walked away. He thought, wow, she must be the one I'm looking for. That must be the woman I should marry. She did exactly what I asked. And so he found out what her name was, and he began to date her, and it turned out they had quite a bit in common. And it wasn't too long before he asked her to marry him, and they were married. They had a good life. She asked him on their honeymoon, why did you ask me out that first time? And he said, "I'll tell you later. I will tell you next year." Well, on their first anniversary, she asked again, and he said, "Oh, it's not quite time." They were married for 25 years, and he never would tell her. They were married for 50 years. And finally, on their 50th anniversary, she said, "Please, I really, really want to know, what made you ask me out that very first time?" Well, I'll tell you, I had said I would marry a woman who did just what I asked her to do. And the very first time I met you, you poured me exactly a half cup of tea. Just what I asked for. She laughed and laughed and laughed. Oh, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard, she said, because, you see, I only had a half cup of tea in my teapot, and I went back to the kitchen to get the rest, and by then you were already gone. But they had lived happily ever after.
Forever after indeed. And now, after such a sweet story, Larry Lyon is going to perform his award-winning song, Darty Darcy.
Blown by a dry west wind, a stranger in our town. Jasmine eyes and coal black hair, barely 4 feet from the ground. She lost her man on a trestle across a moonlit Washita. 2 preacher legs on a railroad track, the best of him was gone. 2 preacher legs on a railroad track, the best of him was gone. She bid fare thee well up on Choctaw Ridge at a grave near Billy Joe. As they lowered the pine box down with the legs of her lost true love, she bought a house near Darty, down by the railroad tracks. Wherever that girl came from, she's never going back. Darty Darcy's down by the railroad tracks. Wherever that girl came from, she's never going back. Before Darcy, a creek's flowed dust, wildfires raged all around, and prayers dried up before they reached the sky. Crops burned in broken ground, till late one night by the full moonlight, the town folk did say, Darcy's dancing wild, shouting in tongues and Darty. As Darty burned to ashes, her bloody Bible was shaking round. Smoky skies closed up, and the rain started pouring down. Well, it rained and rained, rained and rained, and rained some more. The cursed drought was broken by Darcy knocking on heaven's door. Darty Darcy's down by the railroad tracks. Wherever that girl came from, she's never going back. For days and weeks, months it seemed, that rain kept coming down. The water rose higher and higher in that lake above Darty town. 80, 90, 100 feet of water pushing against that dam. Sirens blew, all but Darcy headed for higher land. The water busted out at Glory Hole, rushed towards Darty. 30 feet of thundering through those oak and cedar trees. By the moonlight they saw Darcy floating down the Washita, swept down under a trestle, waving a Bible, shouting in tongues. Darty Darcy's down by the railroad tracks. Wherever that girl came from, she's never going back. The town folk, they'll tell you this story is not true, but the old timers swear of the Darcy they once knew. By the railroad tracks near the Washita, on a full moon night you'll hear the footsteps of 2 legs, searching for Darcy so dear. The footsteps of 2 legs, searching for Darcy so dear. Darty Darcy's down by the railroad tracks. Wherever that girl came from, she's never going back. Darty Darcy's down by the railroad tracks. Wherever that girl came from, she's never going back. Wherever that girl came from, she's never going back. Wherever that girl came from, she's never going back. Peace out.
Such a spooky song. Next, Joan Westcott is a real wicked witch.
Everyone says that my sister is perfect. It makes me want to choke a toad. All pretty and pink, like a big puff of cotton candy, as if sugar wouldn't melt in her little rosebud mouth. Well, duh. Of course she's sweet and nice. She's wearing girly clothes from her head to her toes. Nobody thinks that evil can reside in all that fluff. It just proves that she's Mom's and Dad's favorite. What do they give me to wear? Black, black, and more black. Oh, how's a person to look good in that? And how are we to get through the hot summer? It's no wonder it makes me so grouchy at times. Well, of course, she's all smiles and full of cute little songs and with her perky little voice. Well, she should have to wear this outfit sometimes. We'll see how she feels. But not Glenda. Oh, no. She is the good witch. What's that make me? The bad witch, of course. What a joke. She's the one that turned all the townspeople into munchkins and never got in any trouble. I turned one little man into a scarecrow, and all of a sudden I'm wicked. It's just not fair. She gets away with everything. Oh, I am so mad. Oh, I'm so mad that I have got to zap someone. Zap! There. Now I feel a little better.
Now that was a big hit. But where were the bats? Speaking of hits and bats, Pat Kelly is next with Casey at the Bat.
The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score was 4-2 with but one inning left to play. And then when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a sickly silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A scattering few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope that springs eternal in each human breast. They thought if only Casey could get a whack at that, they'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake. The former was a Lulu and the latter was a fake. So on that stricken multitude grim melancholy sat. There seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much disguised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats or more there rose a lusty yell. It rumbled in the valley, it rattled in the dell, it knocked against the mountain and recoiled off the flat. For Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing and a smile on Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. Not a stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded as he wiped them on his shirt. And while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance gleamed in Casey's eye. A sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered spear comes hurtling through the air, and Casey stands a-watching it with haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people there arose a muffled roar, like the beating of the storm waves from a dim and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" someone shouted from the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him hadn't Casey raised his hand. A smile of Christian charity on Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher. Once more the spheroid flew, and Casey still ignored him, and the umpire said, "Strike two." "Fraud!" cried the madding thousands, and an echo answered fraud. But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face go stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. They knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer was gone from Casey's lip. His teeth were clenched in hate. He pounded with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. Bands are playing somewhere. Somewhere hearts are light. Somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out.
And now a special holiday greeting from everyone at Grand Junction Senior Theater and our friends of the Bookcliff Barbershop Harmony Chorus and the Sweet Adelaide. Enjoy and have a happy holiday and Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Dave. Dave's no dummy. He knows talent when he sees it. Here's Marvin Mitchell and his pal Kenny sharing some Christmas cheer.
My name is Marvin, and this is my friend Kenny. Say hello, Kenny. Hello, Kenny. No, just say hello. Hello. What are we doing? Well, what we are doing is we're sending out a little Christmas cheer to friends of the Grand Junction Senior Theater. Oh, great. I love Christmas. Can I sing and tell jokes? Oh, well, we'll get to that. Well, yeah, you can. Are you looking forward to Christmas and the presents that Santa brings under the tree on Christmas Day? Oh, yeah. I get really excited. Oh, I love Christmas morning. Yeah, I love it. I'm a little worried, though. Worried? Well, what would you be worried about? I'm just a little worried. Oh, I know what it is. Santa makes a list of kids that are naughty and kids that are nice. So are you worried about being naughty? Not naughty. Not naughty. No. 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 So, what are you worried about? Well, Santa is fat, and our chimney is real small. What if he gets stuck on the way down? Well, and Rudolph, with his toes so bright, what if he can't find my house in the dark? Well, I don't know. You know it's not toes, it's nose so bright. Toes? No, it's nose so bright. Toes? Okay. You have to trust me on that, I'm older. Okay. So it's nose so bright. But what do you do? I don't think you need to worry about that, because Santa always finds a way to bring presents to little kids. Okay. So don't worry. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to read a little poem the night before Christmas. Good. Can I read too? No, just you listen this time, okay? All right. Do you have a cold? No, just a runny nose. Don't do that. I've got a handkerchief. Okay. Here. Think of it. You okay now? Okay. All right. Are you ready? Ready. All right. I'm going to read a poem now. Okay. I won't say a word. All right. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mice. No, it's a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in the hope that St. Nicholas soon would be there. Dirty stockings, stink alert, dirty stockings. Okay. The children were nestled all snug in their beds. Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for our long winter's nap, when out on the lawn arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. Oh, the moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to the objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear, Mama riding Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. What did I do? I thought you weren't going to interrupt. I did not. You did too. You're talking and not. You're talking and not. You are too. You are putting words in my mouth. Okay. All right. Let's see, where were we? You ready to go on? Yeah. Okay. More rapid than eagles, the coursers they came, and they whistled and shouted and called them by name. You shouldn't yell at the reindeer. Not saying a word. Okay. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Comet, Comet wasn't there. What do you mean Comet wasn't there? He had to stay home and clean the sink. Okay. Okay. On top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. Sounds like laundry detergent. Laundry detergent. Oh, all right. So up the housetop, the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. He flies through the air with the greatest of ease, this jolly fat man, always aiming to please. As I drew in my hat and was turning around, you tripped and fell down the stairs with a bound. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, till he lost them through a hole in the sack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples how merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work. He filled all the stockings and turned with a jerk. Stink alert, stink alert, stink alert. I get to say the next line. Okay. Sticking his finger inside his nose, suddenly up the chimney he rose. Inside his nose, yeah. But heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. That's a good poem, isn't it? Yeah. I like it. Okay. So, can I sing now? What would you like to sing? Song? Oh, well. What song? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Oh, I've got that here. Can we? Okay. Can we sing together? How does that work? I don't know how that works. You sing a line. I sing a line. Who goes first? You go ahead. Okay. Are you ready? Ready. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, 'cause in the cold of the winter he had to go and blow his nose. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names, 'cause poor Rudolph ate all the children's candy canes. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, if your nose so bright, your undershorts are on too tight. Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. That was good, Kenny. I like that one. Me too. Merry Christmas to everyone. And may God bless every one of you out there during this Christmas season. Me too. Especially you, Kenny. Good night, folks, and Merry Christmas. Wait. What? Wait. What? Can I tell a joke? Okay. Go ahead, tell a joke. Ready? Okay, I'm ready. Knock, knock. Who's there? Celia. Celia. See you later, alligator. Merry Christmas.
That was fun. Bet you can't see my lips moving either. But you can see Larry Lyon's lips moving as he takes a stroll downtown, singing his original song, Christmas in the Country.
North wind is blowing 1,000,000 stars across the sky. The creeks have frozen over, the hills are sparkling white. That old oak tree on Main Street is dressed in flashing lights. It's Christmas in the country tonight. Sleigh bells are jingling, there's a knock at the door. Carolers are singing, oh please sing one more. Friends and family laughing, mistletoe, firelight. It's Christmas in the country tonight. Christmas in the country, in the land that we love. Christmas in the country, blessed from above. Oh, Christmas in the country. Season of
kids are tucked in, they're all fast asleep. Mom and Dad are making sure Santa knows what they need. With a kiss on the cheek and a twinkle of the eye, it's Christmas in the country tonight. Christmas in the country, in the land that we love. Christmas in the country, blessed from above. Oh, Christmas in the country. Season of love, Christmas in the country. Season of love, Christmas in the country. Season of love, Christmas in the country. Season of love. I bet he was cold. Now let's step back inside to listen to Scott Betts performing his original Christmas tune, In the Bleak Midwinter.
In the bleak winter, frosty wind make moan. Her stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow. In the bleak midwinter, long, long ago. Angels and archangels may have gathered there, cherubim and seraphim thronged in the air, but only his mother in her maiden's bliss worship the beloved with a kiss. Ba-da-da-do-do-do-do-dum, ba-da-da-do-do-do-dum, ba-da-do-do-do-do-do-dum, ziddy-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. But what can I give him, poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. Yet what can I give him? shall give my heart.
Thank you, Scott. Now, to brighten up your day, is Lois Bright reciting Carol Laylock's My Wonderful Grandma.
I remember tearing across town on my bike to visit Grandma on the day my brother dropped the bomb. There is no Santa Claus, he jeered. Even dummies know that. My grandma was not the gushy kind, never had been. I fled to her that day because I knew she would be straight with me. I knew Grandma always told the truth, and I knew that the truth always went down a whole lot better when swallowed with one of her world-famous cinnamon buns. I knew they were world-famous because Grandma said so. It had to be true. Grandma was home, and the buns were still warm. Between bites, I told her everything. She was ready for me. No Santa Claus? She snorted. Ridiculous. Don't believe it. That rumor has been going around for years, and it makes me mad, plain mad. Now put on your coat and let's go. Go? Go where, Grandma? I asked. I hadn't even finished my second world-famous cinnamon bun. Where? Turned out to be Kirby's General Store, the one store in town that had a little bit of just about everything. As we walked through its doors, Grandma handed me a $10. That was a bundle in those days. Take this money, she said, and buy something for someone that needs it. Whoops. I'll wait for you in the car. Then she turned and walked out of Kirby's. I was only 8 years old. I'd often gone shopping with my mother, but never had I shopped for anything all by myself. The store seemed big and crowded, full of people scrambling to finish their Christmas shopping. For a few moments, I just stood there, confused, clutching that $10 bill, wondering what to buy and who on earth to buy it for. I thought of everybody I knew, my family, my friends, my neighbors, the kids at school, the people who went to church with me. I was just about thought out when I suddenly thought of Bobby Decker. He was a kid with bad breath and messy hair, and he sat right behind me in Mrs. Pollock's grade 2 class. Bobby Decker didn't have a coat. I knew that because he never went out on recess during the winter. His mother always wrote a note telling the teacher that he had a cough. But we all knew that Bobby Decker didn't have a cough. He didn't have a good coat. I fingered that $10 bill with growing excitement. I would buy Bobby Decker a coat. I settled on a red corduroy one that had a hood to it. It looked real warm, and he would like that. Is this a Christmas present for someone? The lady behind the counter asked kindly as I laid my $10 down. Yes, ma'am, I replied shyly. It's for Bobby. The nice lady smiled at me as I told her about how Bobby really needed a good winter coat. I didn't get any change, but she put the coat in a bag, smiled again, and wished me a Merry Christmas. That evening, Grandma helped me wrap the coat. A little tag fell out of the coat, and Grandma tucked it in her Bible. And we wrapped his Christmas coat in a Christmas paper and ribbons and wrote "To Bobby" from Santa Claus on it. Grandma said that Santa always insisted on secrecy. Then she drove me over to Bobby Decker's house, explaining as we went that I was now and forever officially one of Santa's helpers. Grandma parked down the street from Bobby's house, and she and I crept noiselessly and hid in the bushes by his front walk. When Grandma gave me a nudge, "All right, Santa Claus," she whispered, "get going." I took a deep breath. I dashed for his front door, threw the present down on the step, pounded his door, and flew back to the safety of the bushes and Grandma. Together we waited breathlessly in the darkness for the front door to open. Finally it did, and there stood Bobby. 50 years haven't dimmed the thrill of those moments spent shivering beside my grandma in Bobby Decker's bushes. That night, I realized that those awful rumors about Santa Claus were just that. Just what Grandma said they were. Ridiculous. Santa was alive and well, and we were on his team. I still have the Bible, with the coat tag tucked inside, $19.95. May you always have love to share, health to spare, and friends that care. And may you always believe in the magic of Santa Claus.
How wonderful indeed. Next, we have the Bookcliff Barbershop Harmony Chorus singing Gloria. That was fa-la-la-la-la lovely. The Bookcliff Barbershop Harmony Chorus will now share with us Silent Night. don't go to sleep yet. There's still more joy to come. Now to finish out our holiday section, here are the talented and lovely Grand Mesa Sweet Adelines, who are going to take you a ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas!
Look at this window. It's snowing. It's so pretty. Can we sing another Christmas song? Jingle, 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 hear the sleigh bells ring. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Now the ground is wide, go it while you're young. Take the girls tonight and sing the sleighing song. Get a bobtail nag, 240 for his speed, and hitch it to an open sleigh and you'll take the lead. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey!
Thank you to all the members of the Grand Junction Senior Theater. And now we have some special submissions from the community, saying hello to all the seniors of the Grand Valley and supporters of Grand Junction Senior Theater.
Thanks again, David. Here's Thomasina Russell and Terry Flanagan singing their original song, Mean What You Say.
I love you, baby, you know that I do. But you still need to learn a thing or two. I have a tendency to believe what I hear when I say what you mean and make it perfectly clear. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Don't try to do me any other way. What I can prove is why you're toying with me. You think you're joking, but it's not clear to see. So tell me, baby, you should make up your mind. There ain't no need for you to be unkind. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Don't try to do me any other way. So baby, you can bring it on home, bring it on home. You think you are the sweetest talker I know, Forget the talking that you don't really mean, Cause you don't need it when you're right here with me, Say what you mean, and mean what you say. Don't try to do me any other way. Don't try to do me any other way. Don't try to do me any other way.
Wasn't that mighty fine? George Rosenbaum is now going to share his feelings about masks.
Right now, there are a lot of us wearing masks. It makes me think of all the heroes that I listen to on the radio. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows. And if some of you actually remember the Flip Wilson show, he did a take on that. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? Does shadow do? A man of mystery who strikes terror in the very souls of evildoers everywhere. Lamont Cranston, a man of wealth, a student of science, and master of other people's minds, devotes his life to righting wrongs, solving crimes, protecting the innocent, and punishing the guilty. Using advanced methods that may ultimately become available to all law enforcement agencies, Cranston is known to the underworld as the Shadow. Never seen, only heard, as haunting to superstitious minds as a ghost, as inevitable as a guilty conscience. With his friend and constant companion, the lovely Margot Lane, the Shadow meets up with danger tonight when the ghost walks again. The Skelly Oil Company presents Captain Midnight, 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 Midnight. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday at the same time. Here's a special tip for you fellows and girls who have not already joined Captain Midnight's new flight patrol. You'd better hurry up and join at once, because there's a big adventure ahead. There's a real job ahead of us, helping Chuck Ramsey and Patsy Donovan and our good friend Captain Midnight, 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 Midnight himself in a thrilling mystery. The Green Hornets. He hunts the biggest of all game, public enemies that try to destroy our America. With his faithful valet, Cato, Britt Reed, daring young publisher, matches wits with racketeers and saboteurs, risking his life that criminals and enemy spies will feel the weight of the law by the sting of the Green Hornets. A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silva, the Lone Ranger. With its faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains, led the fight for law and order in the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again. The Lone Ranger Creed, by the creator of the Lone Ranger, Fran Stryker. I believe that to have a friend, a man must be one, that all men are created equal, and that everyone has within himself the power to make this a better world. That God put the firewood there, but that every man must gather and light it himself. And being prepared physically, mentally, and morally to fight when necessary for that which is right. That a man should make the most of what equipment he has. That, quote, this government of the people, by the people, and for the people, unquote, shall live always. That men should live by the rule of what is best for the greatest number, that sooner or later, somewhere, somehow, we must settle with the world and make payment for what we have taken. That all things change but truth, and that truth alone lives on forever in my Creator, my country, my fellow man. You know, it does make me realize most of my heroes wore masks.
Well, I guess that covers that topic. Next, Merrill Kenworthy is going to share about his elusive ancestor.
I went searching for an ancestor, and I found him still. He moved around from place to place and did not leave a will. He married where a courthouse burned. He mended all his fences, but he avoided any man who came to take the U.S. census. And no one else in this whole world is searching for this man, so I play Gina Solitaire to find him if I can. I'm told he's buried in a plot. With tombstone he was blessed, but the weather took engraving and some vandals took the rest. He died before the county clerks decided to keep records. No family Bible has emerged in spite of all my efforts. And just to top it off, this ancestor who caused me many groans, just to give me one more pain, betrothed a girl named Jones.
Speaking of elusive, pull up a chair as Merrill shares with you an elemental song about the periodic table and its elements.
There's antimony, arsenic, aluminum, selenium, and hydrogen, and oxygen, and nitrogen, and radium, nickel, neodymium, neptunium, germanium, and iron, americium, ruthenium, uranium, europium, zirconium, lutetium, vanadium, and lanthanum, and osmium, and astatine, and radium, gold, protactinium, and indium, and gallium, and iodine, and thorium, and thulium, and thallium. There's yttrium, ytterbium, actinium, rubidium, and boron, gadolinium, niobium, iridium, strontium, and silicon, and silver, and samarium, and bismuth, bromine, lithium, beryllium, and barium. There's chromium, and helium, and hafnium, and erbium, and phosphorus, and francium, and fluorine, and terbium, mercury, manganese, molybdenum, and magnesium, dysprosium, scandium, and cerium, and cesium. There's sulfur, californium, and fermium, berkelium, and also mendelevium, and slanium, nobelium, argon, krypton, neon, radon, xenon, zinc, and rhodium, and chlorine, carbon, cobalt, copper, tungsten, tin, and sodium. These are the only ones of which the news has come to Harvard, and there may be many others, but they haven't been discovered.
While all of those electrons are spinning, Merrill is now going to spin his yarn about his travels to the tiny town of Morrow, Alabama, going to Morrow.
I'm going to Morrow today. I'm going to Morrow today. And when I arrive at tomorrow, today will become yesterday.
And that concludes the Grand Junction Senior Theater's 2020 Virtual Variety Show. This is your announcer, Larry Lyon, wishing on behalf of all of the members of the Grand Junction Senior Theater cheerful holidays, a very Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.